Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Sage 100 reporting session here at our Empower 2021 conference. My name is Bastian Bosner-Wors. I am part of the Sage 100 practice here at SWK. And first of all, thank you all so much for making room in your busy schedules to join us here at Empower and to join me here in today's session. There are a lot of different options and tools available to create meaningful reporting from your Sage 100 data. And I want to start this session with a quick overview. And from there, we will take a deeper dive into Sage Intelligence for Sage 100. So let's get started. I apologize for this very busy slide here. There's so many reporting tools available for Sage 100 that I couldn't fit them all on this slide. And I think that's actually a good thing. It allows you to work with a reporting solution that meet your needs the best. Let's start with the built-in features that Sage 100 offers with Business Insights and Crystal Reports. Business Insights gives you a set of predefined queries with a graphical interface that can be modified to a small extent. And that is a great tool for ad hoc on-screen reporting if those queries, these predefined queries, meet your needs. You can put a few more fields in, but you cannot substantially change those queries and you cannot add additional queries to it. Crystal Reports is the reporting engine that Sage utilizes to generate the built-in reports. So we can use Crystal Reports to modify those existing reports or create new ones from scratch. So that tool is great for ad hoc reports that need to be either printed or reviewed on the screen. It's not really ideal for data extracts where the user will need to further work with the data, let's say in Excel, for example. And it's also not the best solution if you have very complex layout requirements or very complex queries to work with. If you're looking for dashboard solutions, KPIs, then there's DataSelf. DataSelf is a tool that has a lot of predefined reports for you, a lot of really cool dashboards that feed directly from your Sage data. And it's all ready for you to use, can be modified, of course. Another tool is Microsoft's Power BI. It's similar in a way to DataSelf that you can present KPIs with it, but you would have to build all of your reporting yourself or have us help you with that. Then if you utilize Sage 100 Premium, then that means you have a SQL Server backend. If you have a SQL Server backend, you have Microsoft SQL Server Reporting Services, or SSRS. SSRS is a great tool for reporting that is accessible through a web browser. Users can subscribe to specific reports and they get them emailed on the schedule that they selected. So it's a great tool, built-in feature of Microsoft SQL Server environments. The next option that you have if you're looking more for an event-based reporting would be Sage Alerts and Workflow, for example. So Sage Alerts and Workflow can monitor your Sage database and create reports and send them as emails or place them on a shared drive or upload them to an FTP server based on specific conditions in your database. So a good example for this would be a report that gets emailed out when a customer crosses a defined balance due amount. So if the balance due reaches a specific threshold, then Sage Alerts and Workflow could generate a report that lists out all the invoices that this client has or customer has outstanding, or you have outstanding from that customer, and you can review those and then take action based on that. Then there are tools for complex financial reporting like FYIsoft and Nectari. And on top of that, Sage offers an ODBC connections that lets you hook directly into the Sage database. So you could use Excel to hook directly into Sage and any other software that is able to read ODBC databases. And then last but not least, we have our Excel-based reporting solutions like F9 or BizNet and Sage Intelligence. And Sage Intelligence is the tool that we want to dive now a little deeper into. Okay, so what is Sage Intelligence? Sage Intelligence is a Sage integrated reporting solution that pulls raw data for reports from Sage and other ODBC compliant data sources into Excel. Once the data is in Excel, the user can utilize the full set of Excel functionality to slice and dice and present the data. You can run reports on demand, or on a schedule, to email, to file, or to an FTP web location. Sage Intelligence can not only report on Sage Runner data, it can hook into all ODBC compliant data sources. So you could, besides Sage, you could pull from SQL servers, from Access databases, from Excel databases, etc. It's a great tool for financial reporting as well, and it's also really good for multi-company consolidation. You can utilize and customize a variety of available report templates. You can create reports from scratch based on existing queries. And then in Excel, you can use all the features like formulas, pivot tables, charts, and even VBA macros and code to modify and further streamline your reporting. You can create your own data queries, which are named containers in Sage Intelligence. So it is a tool that has a lot of functionality, and the beauty of it really is that users that know how to use Excel, they can easily learn how to utilize Sage Intelligence. So what are good use scenarios for Sage Intelligence? You would use it for complex reports that require data manipulation, preparation in Excel. You would use it for any report where desired output is Excel. You would use it for reports that have multiple data sources. So when you want to marry your Sage data with, let's say, some kind of production data that lives in another database. And you would also utilize it for any scenario where you have multi-companies or multiple companies in Sage and you want to do reporting that consolidates the information for multiple companies. Let's take a quick look at the components of Sage Intelligence. And as I had mentioned before, besides our Sage 100 database, we can also hook into any other ODBC compliant databases. This is why we have multiple databases showing up here, and we can hook in as many as we want into our Sage Intelligence installation. The connector module over here, that is the tool that houses the queries that actually pull the data out of Sage or out of the other databases. So within the connector, you can set up connections to new data sources, you can create new queries, and of course, you can maintain existing queries. The report manager over here, that is the tool that allows the user to create, maintain, and run reports. And another tool that's not shown here is the report viewer. So the report viewer you would use for users that don't have a need to maintain reports, delete reports, create new reports. They just want to run reports or just need to run reports. So then they would get assigned the report viewer license, and that allows them to just execute existing reports. Two other tools that are available are the security manager and the license manager. The license manager is used to assign the Sage Intelligence licenses to your Sage 100 workstations, and the security manager you can use if you want to define security on a report by report basis. So you can set reports up to be only run by specific people. Financial reports, for example, if you don't want everyone who utilizes Sage Intelligence to run a specific report, well, you can limit those rights within the security manager. On the Excel end, we have the Report Designer plugin. So once Sage Intelligence is properly installed and you run a Sage Intelligence report, you will get a new sidebar in Excel that only opens up if you run a Sage Intelligence report. And this sidebar gives you a lot of functionality to create great financial reporting. So you will get formulas that allow you to grab actuals, balances, budgets, all that stuff, everything you need to create financial reporting. We have reporting trees that allows us to create a financial statement and then overlay it with a reporting tree, which is a filter. Let's say a reporting tree for a department. So we have a financial statement based on our main accounts, and now we have different departments. Well, so if we overlay the reporting tree with the report, what we get is we now only see the numbers for this particular department or location or whatever your general ledger segments in your GL accounts stand for. So another feature that we have available to us in Excel once Sage Intelligence installed is the distribution feature. So within the distribution feature, we set up Sage Intelligence reports to be emailed out, to be stored in the network location somewhere, or to be sent to an FTP web location if need be. We can set those reports up when we talk email, for example. We can set them up in a way that depending on the content of the report, it gets mailed to different people. So we could check if a report, let's say a daily sales report, if that report hits a specific number or misses a specific target, right? If that condition is true, we could say, well, now also copy in this person into this report, right? So on a day-to-day basis, it's only a specific set of people that gets the report, but now a specific condition in the data is met. That means someone else also needs to see this report. Well, we can automate this. So we can make this happen and make those recipients somewhat dynamic based on the data that we see. So the data, Sage Intelligence pulls the data from these data sources through the queries that we defined in the connector and stores them as the raw data in our Excel reports. And that happens at runtime. And then this raw data is either consumed by the financial formulas that I just mentioned, or we use it as the basis for our charts and our reports, or actually more often than not, the raw data is already the final report. If that's good enough, if that's all you need, then there is no need. We just create a report, and there is no need to further design anything if the data already comes out in a way that you would like to see. But now let's take a look at the software itself. Okay, let me open up my Sage here. On the left side, you can see under the modules section, the Sage Intelligence Reporting menu. Here in the middle area under reports, we have the report viewer. I can open this up real quick, and the report viewer allows me to run my reports, and that's it. The report manager I can use to create reports, maintain reports, delete reports. I can use my connector module to create new queries or containers, as they're called in Sage Intelligence, and I can maintain those queries, and I can connect my Sage Intelligence to other data sources if I want to grab more data than just data from Sage 100. The security manager I can use to set up security rights on a report-by-report basis. For my Sage Intelligence reports in the license manager, we use to license workstations for Sage Intelligence. Okay, so let me open up the report manager. I have a report open here. It's a GL transaction detail report. There is one in Sage that runs in this typical crystal format. We wanted to create one that's a little bit more dynamic, and that's it. So you select this report, you hit run, then you select the date range. and you hit OK. And now this report runs out all the transactions for the date range into this Excel report. We wrote a little macro that now allows us to filter these transactions by whatever we want. So I have my date range here from 4/1/25 to 4/30/25. And if I just hit show postings, it will show all the postings that occurred in this period. And I can now go in here and say I only want to see postings on accounts that started with 101. And now I see only those postings, and I can filter here in the middle wherever I want. And then I have all these Excel features that now allow me to filter and sort by whatever I want. So if I'm looking for specific transactions, it's much more comfortable to do it within Excel than it would be by looking at my screen and using the default GL transaction detail report that Sage has to offer, right? So that's not really a financial report because it just uses regular fields and data. Let me show you a financial report in the sense of Sage. And what you will see here is for these financial reports, as soon as I open one, Sage shows me this report designer pane here. And this task pane has a few subsections here. We have the most important one is our formula section. So here I have all my formulas that I can use to get beginning balances, ending balances, actuals year to date, and budget information. And that's really all that I need to create any type of financial report that I want. What we usually do is we create those financial reports with like a report settings page here where we can select the year and the period. And if there's a budgets, and if there are other switches that we need, we can put those in here as well. And then you can have all your financial reports from your reporting package right here, and you change this number and it changes the information. So this is now for 2025 period 5. I go here, I have my numbers. I can come back here, I change it to 4, and now my numbers show for period 4. That's pretty neat. I can of course do months over months, year over year. I can look at 12 months. I can look at rolling 12 months. So whatever I need. And again, don't look at the way how this layout is set up, because this is really just to show you the functionality. These reports via Excel, they can look whatever you want them to look like. So if you have a specific design for your financial reports, we can accommodate or you can accommodate and design them in here in the exact same way. So here you can see one of these formulas. So this is the formula for GL actual. And if I hit this little formula button here, it shows me all the switches that I have within the formula. So GL link is the GL account, in my case here, coming from B5. Report year is coming here from this field over here. Report period is coming from there. And then I can put in, if I have consolidations, I can put in a company code. I have more filters for account categories, account groups. And I can use reporting trees. If I just want to show credits or balance or debits, I can put this in here into the balance type. So lots of switches, but it's very well documented within Sage Intelligence. If I click here, help on this function. So it's all very well documented, very easy to understand. So I can either, as you see here, I can either pull the numbers for a specific account, or like we do here for a range of main accounts. So I could do something like this. Now it's all the accounts that fall under main account 100. I can do 500, and now it's all the accounts that fall under the main accounts 100 to 500, and so on. I can use the question mark again as a wildcard. So now these are now all the accounts that are 101 and then whatever in the middle here, numbers from 00 to 99. And and I can combine all those features. So with that, I can get all the accounts that I need to show in one line. I can get in there. I can do plus and minus in here. So very, very, very simple. A really cool feature that I have available to me here as well is the ability to actually drill down into the numbers. So if we are looking at a consolidated report where we consolidate multiple companies, the first drill down level would be drilling down into the numbers by company. Then the second level, I click on the number for a company, would be to drill down by account. And then the third level would be to drill down to the transaction level. Here we have multiple accounts. So the first level of drill down for me would be, because it's only one company, would be already to go down by the account. So I right click here, I hit drill down, it pulls the data, and now I see this information here. I see my company code, I see the account number, and then I see the amounts that made up the total that I saw on the other page. Now I want to know, how does this number how did this number come up, so I can do drill down again. And now I'm down on the transaction level. So I have my posting date here, I have my debit amounts, credit amounts, and I have all my posting information. So if I have my month's end financial reports and there's a number that I need to validate and I want to understand where it's coming from, I can easily drill down into this data. I think I mentioned earlier reporting trees. So I can design my financial reports in a way that I create a report that is based on just the main accounts, but now I want to report by department on them, right? So I can create reporting trees by department. Let's say I have here my department 1, 2, and 3, and my department numbers are coded in my GL account over here. So if I now want to see just my department 01, I put the tree over here, and then you can see that all the accounts that have a middle segment of 01, those are the ones that show numbers. The other ones don't show numbers anymore because they're not department 01. I can do the same thing, override here for 02, and now I see this one has still information because it's question mark, right? So a 02 falls into that category. And here is 03. And now I have something in this one here and something here, and they're the same because this filter here is basically the same as just this account. Okay, so I can do this by department. I can do all departments together if I go here. So I can group them over here in like a child-parent relationship. And then I could also have corporate, everything that ends with 00 or has the 00 there. So these are the corporate ones. So pretty simple to do these report designs. You just maintain one design, and then we use trees to actually show those by departments, locations, whatever we want to group by. And then we don't have the time to get too deep into this, but we can also automate around this, right? Again, standard Excel functionality. So if we have those trees, we can create an automation where basically you just say export PDFs or export Excel files if that's what you like. And what it does is it basically runs through your financials and creates those financials just for each department. And it wouldn't show, of course, if I switch here my hide 0 rows to this, then it would only show the accounts that actually belong there, that actually have activity. So we can automate your financials to an extent here as well. All right, so that's all that I am able to show you here today. I am happy to get on the phone with you, and I'm happy to listen to you telling me what kind of reporting you need. So please feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to do like a longer session with you guys to show you all the capabilities. It's a great tool, Sage Intelligence, and it's good for financial, it's good for non-financial data, and we are here now for you for an open discussion. So feel free to ask questions and let me know what you think. Thank you very much.